Oh gosh.
Oh,
So Keith, we got a topic: justice and judgment study. Keith is gonna take over. This was his study originally. Keith, matter of fact, yeah, you should tell him how you, if you want, you can elaborate a little bit on how you even started the study. But yeah, you gotta. Keith is gonna take over. Give it to Keith, and we're gonna go through this study with Keith, seeking them. Seeking them is the name he's going by out here. Ready when you're ready, Keith.
all right. Suppose this study came about studying from the book of Proverbs. You hear my Proverbs. We were looking at Proverbs chapter 21, verse 3. It
Do we need to read that, or do we
was,
need to pull it up, or are you just giving a reference?
I was given a reference, but I guess we could pull it up if we need to.
Oh man, are you pulling it up or what?
Yeah, but can you see it? Let's see.
Why do my logos have just? Oh, I forgot. I'm on my other computer. I forgot. It's Proverbs what?
Chapter 21, verse 3.
21:3. To do righteousness and justice is more accept. Keep why you ain't had this pulled up? To
Oh,
do
well, I've got it now. Look, I've got it
you
down.
got it. To do right because this is what you started off of, right?
Right.
The verse. Is this the verse you was basing it off of? The study?
Yes.
Yeah, see, you gotta have this one. Okay, so it says to do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Okay, keep going, Keith.
I was reading that verse and I think I ran across it and I remembered that Lord had also spoken, Yahweh had also spoken that verse in reference to Abram or Abraham. Uh, Back over in Genesis 18.
I don't know if I knew that. I'm thinking you. I thought you was gonna say 17:1, but you ain't say that. So this
Genesis,
might be new to me. Then again, maybe not.
when he 18, verse 19.
18, 19.
I think I want a broader context for that. Let's see. It's right after the angels had visited Abraham in his tent, and Yahweh was getting ready to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. In verse 17, he comes in and says, am I sharing my screen?
Let me see. Mm, yes. All right, there you go. Let me move my cameras out of the way. Oh, For some reason, it's down there.
Wasn't turning. See, I don't.
That'll work. Oh, you gotta. Yeah. I was wondering why I was looking like that. I'm like, why is it? Are you gonna stretch it out, make it bigger? Or are you gonna keep it half view?
See, I'm going to lose that if I do that, am I?
Well, if your intention was to keep it half view, you can.
Is that bigger?
I mean, we can see it. I just didn't know if you was gonna keep it half view or make it wider or not. We can see it.
See, what's my verse. Go back down here to around verse 17. Back to 16, since that starts a paragraph. And the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become
What verse you at? 19 or what?
a great, yes, I went too far.
Oh.
Trying to keep those from seeing that Abraham should become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, for that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. So here we see that one of the conditions of Yahweh even favoring or blessing Abraham is that he keeps justice and judgment, that he commands his children and his household even after him, and that they will follow him in the way to do justice and judgment. The
Some other people might have another translation and see righteousness instead of justice.
That is correct, yes.
Because
Another
mine
word.
say righteousness, but I was just pointing that out while I was in a little quiet spot. Go ahead.
Okay, because the Strong's number for that is 6666.
Really?
Yes, the definition of righteous or justice. Righteousness
Oh, yeah,
or
it is.
justice. A feminine noun, and that Hebrew word means righteousness or blameless conduct.
Tistaka.
That's how you pronounce that.
Yeah, one way you can say it. Tistaka.
Now it describes justice or right actions and right attitudes as expected from both God and people when they judge. So not only does God expect right actions or right attitudes, even when we deal with one another, we oftentimes have preconceived notion of what's right as far as someone's actions or someone's judgment of something. So again, what is the blameless conduct? We can find so when Yahweh says that I know him, talking about Abraham, he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of Yahweh to do justice and judgment, that Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. The result of keeping the way is justice and judgment. You could also look over in Deuteronomy chapter 33.
You going there, or you want me to go there?
Maybe I should let you share it. Does your screen look better?
Oh, I just had it wider. Like if you widen it, I think yours will look just as good as mine. That's what I meant when I said, did you want to keep it like the vertical view, or did you want to widen it? Because all I did was widen mine. You know how you move it to the right, the little tab all the way?
This window somewhere else. Oh, I can move it over there.
The window, yeah, that's what they call it, the window. Basically make it full screen. Like that's basically all I did.
Okay.
And I was showing them the Hebrew while you was getting the next part ready. Oh, excuse me.
I moved it over to that screen, and now I can go full screen with this one.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
better.
How do I get rid of this first?
Yeah, see, yours is the same as mine now. Oh, you trying to get the left part out the way?
Yes.
Oh,
Or actually, I need it because I need to be able to navigate something.
okay, yeah, you can leave it.
Or I could just type it in 33. And we're going over to Genesis 33. Or excuse me, Deuteronomy 33. Verse 21.
21. 33, 21, right?
Yes.
All
Or
right.
let's see, I think I had
Take your time, take your time.
a
Whenever
large.
you just let me know, because I'm already there, but if that ain't where you want to start, you just let me know. Oh, why you getting it too? Did you tell us why you decided to do this study, by the way?
I'm not sure if I elaborated upon that. I just wondered because what does it mean? What does justice and judgment mean? Because I saw that this that wording is in Scripture some 20 times, I believe. And so I was asking myself, or asking, what does justice and judgment mean?
Gotcha.
I think it's 20 different passages in the King James. That's in the King James. That was the version I was using for my reference.
Okay.
And let me see, it seems like there was another where I ran across it. And it tied into some other words that probably study a little bit later that are like actually righteousness itself. And righteousness and what was the other word? Justice, or righteousness, mercy. Where was I? Here in Deuteronomy, it's actually referencing, talking about Gad in verse 20. 20, 21, it says, and of Gad, do I have it on the screen? And of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad, for he dwelleth as a lion, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated, and he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his judgments with Israel. So Gad sitting in a portion of the lawgiver. Questions, comments so far?
Nah. I'm trying to work this what they call it, like the camera view and everything.
A picture where? Oh, okay, I know why I lost it. When he says that Gad sits in a portion of the lawgiver. That brings up a question that did not come up earlier. Is Gad sitting in a portion of the lawgiver? Does that mean that he's sitting in a portion? Was Gad's territory in part of Judah?
And this is Deuteronomy 33:20, right? Oh, you went
Deuteronomy
somewhere else.
33:20, yes.
Oh, okay. What was that you just said, Keith?
That reference I was looking at in verse 20, it says, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth with the arm, and teareth the arm with the crown of his head, and he provided for the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated, and he came with the heads of the people. He executed justice, the justice of the Lord, and his judgments with Israel.
And from that, you thought about something, and what was it that you thought about or something?
I was thinking about the lawgiver. Well, we know in a portion of the lawgiver, we're told in Genesis chapter 49:10 that the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. And that's a prophecy about the coming
Yeah,
of
but
the
look at this,
Messiah.
Keith.
Yes, say
Look
you
at
say
this.
something.
Yeah, but look at this. This is the same thing, but it's worded a little different. So I'm gonna read it, and then we can look at the Hebrew behind it, and maybe it still means the same. But this is the same thing in the NRSV. It says, "And of Gad, he said, blessed be the enlargement of Gad. Gad lives like a lion. He tears at arm and scalp. He chose the best for himself. For there a commander's allotment was reserved. He came at the head of the people. He executed justice, well, the justice of the Lord, and his ordinances for Israel." So you see, that one is a little different. I think the main verse you was talking about was 21, right?
20.
Oh, it was 20?
20. Oh, wait a minute. Let me look at my paper and make
I
sure
think it was 21.
I 21, yes, 21.
Okay, so I'm curious what translation was you reading from?
It was King James.
Oh, the KJV, huh? Okay. Because I'm curious what word was you looking at in that one?
The lawgiver, a portion of the lawgiver.
Lawgiver. I probably passed it. It could be ordinances.
Let me see. Is my screen still shared? Go back over here.
It is. Hold on, pull it up real quick, Keith. All right, I just went to the KJV. Let's see. Lawgiver is 27:10. So I'm curious what they translate this as in the other one. So it says ruling staff, scepter, a stick used for many purposes, including as a sign of power, leader. That's probably what they translated it as. Any other one maybe? One who leads, rules, and governs his people, and etc. So let me go back because they're in a portion of the lawgiver. Oh, look at this Q. Let's see what we got. And there you look. There were your cross reference right there. Genesis 49:10. And then let's see what the NRSV translates that as. Commander, I think. Yeah, they translated as commander in the NRSV. So a little different. But what was you saying, Keith? I'm gonna give it back to you.
Allotment is
Yeah.
reserved.
It says for their a commander's allotment was reserved. That's how they translate it in the NRSV.
Well, you know what? I was reading New American Standard now that I think, or
Oh, so many translations. But go ahead, Keith.
executed justice of the Lord. Oh, and a portion of the lawgiver. I see that. He chose the best for himself, for their commander's allotment. So it says the commander's allotment reserved. Portion of the lawgiver.
What was you thinking of about this verse? You was connecting it with Genesis 49:10.
Scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall be the gathering of the people. That word lawgiver, I was like, okay, is this related? Because they're in a portion of the lawgiver. Executed justice, the justice of the Lord, and his judgments with Israel. Let's see, you said the new NRSV said, he executed the justice of the Lord and his ordinances for Israel. So we're still talking about justice and the ordinances. That word could be, because what I understand is justice is the action that you do, and the judgment or the reward, I should say, that's a better word than punishment, because it could be a good thing. It could be a blessing instead of a as Paul says, the wages of sin, the wages, what you're rewarded for your actions, or the justice is the ordinances or the decisions that come down. And so is it saying that Gad was the one who did this? Executed that justice and judgment. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
So let me see if I want to go on to the next one. Actually, as I was even studying that, I began to think and say, let me jump it ahead. We'll jump back to see what is an example of that in Scripture. I went over here to Genesis chapter 4, around verse 10 and to 16. You're probably quite familiar with this one. This was, I suppose it was probably the second or one of the, I was going to say the second unrighteous act that mankind committed, but Adam and Eve had several there after they ate of the tree. Blamed serpent, Adam blamed Eve, or Adam blamed God, actually. But we won't go into that right now. Back to Genesis chapter 4, around verse 10. This is the two sons of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. We start with verse 9. So since I brought in Abel in that, and the Lord's, let's see, am I showing?
Yeah.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. So here we see justice and judgment.
Not the specific words, but you talking about the actions or something?
Exactly, the actions.
Okay, because I didn't hear those words or see them. That's why I was asking. I don't know if you was gonna say that.
Yeah, you see it, injustice in action and being carried out.
Yeah, elaborate on that, Keith. Explain it. Go ahead. I think you was doing that. Go ahead.
That Cain had slain his brother Abel, and the Lord or Yahweh said unto Cain, let's see, is that the word Yahweh? Right? Yes.
Did you use the words punishment and judgment, or what two words you say?
justice, or I said injustice actually, because
Oh, okay. Okay,
his
keep going.
actions were against the accepted actions of the community and against the accepted actions of what God would have him to do.
Mm.
What have you done? Said, what hast thou? Okay, still do. Thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground, and now art thou cursed from the earth. So he was cursed from the earth. And when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. So we see when Cain understood, and he says, my punishment, that word is awal, awalni, awalni.
Let me look at it, Keith. I can probably help you.
It's like a misdeed, a sin or guilt caused by sin.
Where you at, Keith?
In verse 13, where Cain said unto the Lord, let's see, it said, my punishment. New Revised says, Cain said, yes, punishment, the same word, punishment.
Oh, so you looking at the word for punishment?
Yes.
Oh, that is so people can see it as 5771 if they want to go to the Strongs, and it's a three-letter word, IUN. So it could be. Let's see if I want to put that I with that U. That can have an E sound too. So it could be. So it could be Iyun. Yeah, I'm gonna say Iyun. That's the one you're looking at, right? For punishment.
Uh,
You
and
know, you can
actually,
make it an interlinear, right?
I can. Should
I'm
I
just.
do that on
Do
my
you know how?
screen?
Yeah.
I believe I figured that out earlier today. Let me see if I can do it now. Right there.
There you go. And that way you can share them. I mean, show them. Now you got to find the verse though. Sometimes it takes you up a little bit or down from where you were. Oh yeah, you got to go down because you at verse 7 or 8, I think. I don't know. I think still saying. Oh no, you about 14.
13 now.
What verse was you supposed to be on?
13.
Oh, you found it. So yeah, you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got it. And if you want to get rid of it, you just hit the button again.
Where is the whole verse up there? Well, the word is by punishment.
Yeah, if you want to, you can shrink it to make it smaller if you want to show more of it. But yeah, that's the word. It could be pronounced Iyun or Iyun because that I can have a I. It's like the I in English. It has an I or E sound. I think sometimes they even make it have an O sound. I think.
Get the references for it is awan or
Yeah,
awani.
because I think that same letter is the word that starts in the prophet Obadiah name. Yeah, that's and in English they say Obadiah. That's a hard Hebrew word to say if you ever look at his name.
Is it? I
Depending
don't
on what
know.
Hebrew you going by, it can be difficult to say.
I don't know if I've looked up.
Well, you can get used to it, but keep going, Keith. My bad.
That word is also often translated iniquity
Oh, Ayun, nice. I didn't know that.
or misdeed, sin. Let me see if I can pull up some helps on
Oh, that
that.
makes sense because other translations translated as sin. I didn't know that. Okay.
Guilt or the punish. Actually, the punishment of the iniquity. It's kind of almost saying that punishment for my intentions in my heart or what I've thought, the iniquities of my youth, or iniquity is like sin, but it also encompasses your motives.
Mm.
Let's see what Talat. I can go. They say it's like a masculine noun meaning iniquity or evil or guilt, punishment. It's one of four main words indicating sin in the Old Testament. So there we understand that there are at least four different words that are translated as sin. This word indicates sin that is particularly evil, since it strongly conveys the idea of twisting or perverting deliberately, which the Lord Yahweh told Cain, if you do what's right, you shall be blessed. But if not, sin lieth at the door. So he chose. The noun carries along with it the idea of guilt from a conscious wrongdoing. Let me see if do I have that linked? Genesis chapter 44, verse 16. See if I won't need to go back. Let me go back to verse 14. Am I at 14 over here?
Hey, Keith, you studying like a scholar now.
Oh,
Cause you got that Hebrew up. But go ahead.
for my Hebrew, huh? And Judah and his brethren. Go ahead.
Because you got that interlinear up. That's why I was saying that. But go ahead.
Let's see, I can click off of it and go back.
It's up to you.
You all like seeing the Hebrew?
Well, I like seeing it, but if you ever want to bring it back, you can, if you need to. But go ahead, though, Brandon, when you're ready.
Wait a minute. For some reason, I don't think I'm seeing what I'm not. That's because I'm in chapter 45.
Oh, yeah, because when you go out of it, you'll get used to that.
Okay, in verse 14 through about 16. And Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, What deed is this that ye have done? Wot you not that such a man as I can certainly divine? And Judah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak, or how shall we clear ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. And he said, God forbid that I should do so. But the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant. And as for you, get you up in peace unto your father. So this is when Joseph had sent them away and hid the cup in Benjamin's sack. Or make sure I've got that right. And so in verse 16, and Judah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak, or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants. So again, that idea of that conscious wrongdoing, which actually Judah is confessing. Let's see. That's the cup that Judah had them put in the sack of the mouth of the youngest brother. But again, the Hebrew word meaning sin or transgression in a conscious sense, as when David kept consciously from transgression or sin. And I think Abigail kept him from sinning, but Jeremiah chapter 10 or 11 talks about Israel had made a choice to return to their sins their ancestors had committed. Okay. Other sense of the word could also indicate the guilt that results from the act of sin. As Moses prayed to the Lord that the Lord might forgive the guilt of sin of a rebellious Israel. In verse chapter 14, verse 19, it says, "Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according unto the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt, even until now." The Lord said, "I've pardoned according to thy word, but as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord." So here I think we see that word iniquity.
I'm over here eating, Keith. I'm listening to you.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I might need to mute myself. Do I need to mute myself?
You're fine with me. I don't think we have any visitors, do we?
Nah. But if we keep it up, we'll get some.
And as we started out, the word also indicates in some contexts where we came into this word, the punishment that results from the sin and guilt, as in Cain's punishment was unbearable for him.
Well, you went back to Cain?
I just came at full circle back to showing that is also one of the nuances of this word could mean punishment that results from sin and guilt. So context will dictate what it means.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And the word you're talking about is iniquity, right?
Right.
All right.
And Edom, the brother of Jacob.
Where you at now, Jeremiah? Jeremiah, right?
I was going to go over there, but do I need to read that?
Well, up to you. I'm gonna type in wherever you go so I can look at it too.
Okay.
Just let me know where you're going.
That was Jeremiah what?
51.
51
6.
verse 6.
Yeah. I see iniquity there too, but if that ain't the one you want, we can go wherever you want to
Flee
go.
out of the midst of Babylon. This is the same kind of flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
I like that one. That's a good one. Now mine say guilt. It translated as guilt.
Be not cut off for her guilt.
Well, it says, flee from the midst of Babylon, save your lives, each of you. Do not perish because of her guilt. Iyun in Hebrew. That's the word for iniquity in yours, I believe. Yeah, yeah, that's it. And then it goes on to say, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Was you focusing on the word vengeance too, or recompense, or just iniquity right here?
We can actually like that word vengeance. Let's see.
We don't have to if you don't want. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know if that was your original, like intent to look at it or not. That's why I was asking.
That is a word I know I did some studying on earlier when I was looking over for this lesson.
I left out a little bit. My bad. The last little bit say he is repaying her what is due. I didn't see that. I didn't scroll down low enough.
Ties back into that word I said earlier that Apostle Paul uses over in Romans, the wages. He is repaying her what is due,
Yeah.
what she has earned.
Mm-hmm.
It's vengeance, that word. It's like retribution, which is the same idea of repayment, right?
Mm-hmm. It sounds like it, but I never looked it up. So, well, I don't want to say I never looked it up. I have it. Let me look it up. Um,
Recompense.
there. So far, it says it can be recompense of an adversary, of God. Did it say of God? Yeah, of God, of Israel and his chiefs, enemies of Israel, and that's it from the brief dictionary and the logos. But yeah, it sounds like repayment. You know. All right, where else we going?
Let's see. Let me see where to from here. The change this for that for this. Where am I? The look at some. We can go into now. Maybe look at some actions.
All right.
Let's see. Our God came speaking justice and righteousness as the divine judge. Let me see, Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
That word that you're focusing on, and mine says vindication. They translate it as vindication.
Vindication. Oh, okay, it is. I announcing vindication, mighty to save.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same Hebrew word, but
Yeah.
they chose to translate it as announcing vindication.
Well, just vindication.
Oh,
Announcing is another Hebrew word. That's madabar. Oh, that makes sense, kid, because the bar can mean word, and they put the M in front of it, which can mean like from. I don't even think they translated that M. It don't look like it. But anyway. Oh, you ain't looking at the heat. Keith, why don't you just pull up the interlinear? You have it all in front of you. Yeah. Now go down a little bit. Keep going. Wait, what verse is that? Yeah, that's verse 1. Okay, yeah, there it is. Look. See that word right there that you just hovered over to your left, where it says speak. That one. So you see it got the M in front of the bar, but the bar can mean word itself. But you see that M in front of it? Excuse me. I don't think they translated that M in front of it. But they probably didn't need to. So, but that's what I was talking about.
it's changed. So you're thinking it might change the meaning?
I don't know. It could, but the word itself could mean the same thing with the M. But I know sometimes the M in front of something can mean from, like by itself. So, like you see that right there. You see in verse that same verse right. If you scroll down just a little bit, it's right in between Basra and garments. You see the M by itself. You see it say from right there. That's what I'm talking about. So the M by itself can be translated as from, but they didn't translate that in the one below.
Announcing is speaking from, right?
Hmm?
Announcing is speaking from. I don't know.
I mean, that could also be in the definition of the bar, but I doubt it. Because the bar, I mean, it can mean a lot of stuff, but
The bar means to speak, or that's one.
yeah, but from, I don't know about that. Like when I'm looking at it now, it says mouth as organ of speech. It says thy. Now they give me a whole Hebrew phrase with the M in front of it, and they translate it. Can you let me click on that word, Keith? Go to where it says 19. No, scroll down a little bit to where it says speak, and then click on that one. Double click it. Yeah, double click it.
Different word.
Did you click it? I mean, double click it.
I did.
It didn't do anything.
It brought up my Bridge Brown Driver Briggs dictionary.
Oh, but it didn't show up on the screen. Oh, I know why. I know.
Because I've got another window open showing it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay.
I could
This
do it
why
right here.
no, I got it. I got it. This why I always like share my entire screen because I'll be everywhere. I'm just
Or I've got three screens in front of me.
No, you good.
One-
Just so they can see it.
Okay.
Look. But if you ever in the future want to share your entire screen, that way anything you look at on your PC it be shared to everybody. That's why I do it like that. But this is what I was talking about, right? So you see it says mouth as organ of speech, and then it says now notice this word is for the whole four-letter word, and then it gives a little phrase, as I call it, and it has the M in front of it, and then the other word, right? And then it says thy. That thy is what you was talking about from, sounds like, which they did translate in this sentence. It says thy mouth is lovely. But in the actual verse that we was just looking at, they didn't translate from there. You see what I'm saying? I don't think. If we go back and look at it.
Which
Yeah, they didn't. Because it says I is I nay, and then announcing is just speaking or words. They're not translating this M. They probably didn't need to though, but yeah, it's all good. What was you about to say though, Keith?
I wasn't seeing what you were seeing. That was
Oh, my bad. I gotta switch back to your screen. My bad.
no, I mean, because I was looking in the word. I've got Word Study of the Old Testament Dictionary, Abridged BDD, Theological Dictionary of the Old Testament, and if I go in there, it's probably going to bring it out.
Oh,
Dabar,
wow.
Dabar. Now see there, it's spelled the way you without the M.
Oh, because you're looking at you're looking at this word. You're looking at just the bar. You're looking at 1696. That's a different word.
I'm looking at. Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, the one I was looking at was 40. What was it?
4481.
No, 4057. Ma the
Where
bar.
is that in this?
That's the one that's in the same verse. Well, that's the spelling of it in the verse, but in the actual verse, they go back to the root, which is just the bar, just the three-letter word. That's the one you was just looking at. And with the M, they have a little phrase translated in here, giving an example. It says, "My the barak," and then it says, Nauf. I'm sorry, Nau after it. And then they put that it can mean thy mouth is lovely. And the thy can mean from, or it could be something like from. But of course, actually thy isn't even from. That's the final letter. That's the K. That's your. That could be your. So they ain't even translate from right there either. So they just not. That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's see. Let me see if
huh?
that's the same word that shows up when I do this. 1696.
It happens a lot though, Keith. When you start reading Hebrew and translating, you'll see they'll be translating a lot of stuff. I'd be surprised when I'm reading live. I'd be like, what? They ain't translate all that?
The bar 1696. And why did you go to a different word?
When I double clicked, it took me here because I think I had just double clicked on announcing. Let me get rid of it and do it again. I think they just took me there automatically. I didn't, let's see. I double click announcing. Do they take me there? When I double click announcing, they take me to the one you see, the bar. So let me see. If I double click this word, do they take me to that one? Oh, that's what happened. So when I double click the actual word that I was talking about, the Madabar, they took me to this word, the 4057. But if you just double click announcing or speak, it takes you to the root, the bar. Did you want to get your entire screen in here to see what, so we can see what you see, or you just want to
Well,
read it?
I don't know if I can get all four of my screens in there.
Is it all on one PC?
No,
Oh, well, I mean,
I've
but you
got,
could use one PC though, because I got
oh yeah, I could shrink everything down to one PC and just switch around, but the one that I'm sharing is one screen, and then it's like I've got some notes on the two other screens.
well, no, like, because I know how like one computer can be like the main, like the boss basically, and what it does, it'll show up on other screens too. But if you, because like I'm using one computer to like just look at the live that we're doing and to manage it a little bit and look at comments when they come in, and the other computer I'm just using to share my screen and stuff like that. But I think you can still share it all on one PC and it'll work if you want to do it. That way we can see what you see. Or do you just want to keep it your one window?
I guess let me go. Oh, I know where I can go. Let's see.
Let me get my screen off of this. But yeah,
Uh,
you'll notice what I'm talking about. Like if you start looking at the interlinear a lot and you look at like anytime that the word Lord comes up and it'll have that M in front of Lord and it'll be like from and sometimes I don't want to say the L word, but they do that with the Hebrew L word too. It'll be like an L in front of Lord and they'll translate that L as to, but when the M is in front of it, it'll be like from. But you'll see what I'm talking about in the future. Let me know when you're ready.
see, I was going back.
Take your time. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick.
Switch between what I'm sharing. Let's see.
You trying to present the whole entire screen?
Let's see how this is going to work. I wasn't trying to show everything because I've got
Oh,
some
you don't
stuff.
got to. It's up to you. But that's just how I do it, so they can see everything. Cause I don't. If I just show one tab, they ain't gonna see everything. Cause it be so many tabs I have, and all this
Oh,
other stuff
oh, it's not tabs. I've got one, two, three different programs running. Or
on 3 different computers.
I've only got one. I heard you say you got two computers. I'm on one computer, but my
But so it
computer,
so
I've
it
got,
should work.
I've got three different screens,
Yeah.
three different monitors.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you got one PC, Keith, and if you share your entire screen, it'll show us all of that. Even though you've seen it from 3 different screens.
Because it's
Yeah,
different things on each screen.
yeah, it'll show us exactly what you see. That's
But
what I'm saying. Even though you see it from 3 different screens.
one screen I was kind of working from.
You can keep it just how you had it. If you want to run a test, you can.
I hit share, but I don't know if it's sharing or not.
You gotta, okay, so if you go to present and then go to share, did you make sure you clicked on entire screen?
Did.
Okay, and then finalize it, and then I'll be able to bring it in. Or if you
So
wanna,
Go back in. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access. Oh, cause see, let me make sure I close out some stuff I don't want open.
Gotcha.
Can't close Facebook though. I need that open, right?
Close out the bank account info. You don't want to release no banks. No.
Your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access, then reload the page. Well, I don't have to, that screen doesn't have to be shown because that's the one I'm watching the video on. Can I do it without sharing that?
Keep, I don't know what you got going on over there. You remind me of them people that work in the bank, man. They have all them strings, like customer service or something like that. Maybe one day I'll get something like that. I don't even have a desktop right now. I just be using laptop.
Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 windows.
7 windows? Dang. Oh, you mean tabs or windows?
Windows.
So you be opening like different windows? I do a lot of tabs mostly. I
Well,
got like
I'm
11
not
of them.
talking about my browsers. Let me rephrase that. That's a
Oh, like stuff
window.
you're working on.
I've got one window open. Then like logos, I've got 1, 2,
Oh.
3 windows in logos.
Mm.
Is that 4? Then I've got Word open. I've got 2 open in Word. And then I've got a program that I was setting up on my Google Drive where I was setting up.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's easier for you to just keep it how we were doing it before, we can do that. Where you just share a one window.
Go to entire screen. It won't do that.
Yeah, you gotta fix some settings.
Because right there it is.
I learned my lesson, Keith. I just share everything because I tell you, boy, I'll be here, there, and then you know what I noticed? Um, I don't know. Now you did it good because I be on logos on the internet, and I be wanting to show people this, show people that, and it's easy for me to just show the entire screen because I go back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, it's just easy for me to just share everything.
See if I.
Or it was a way that you can share the other window you was talking about with that dictionary. But you have to always keep like sharing this tab individually. So is that screen ready? Did you just share it?
Just shared it. And what does that look like?
All right. So right now we can see looks like everything. So we see your logos. Is that logos? No, that ain't logos.
No, now that's different, right? It changed, right?
Yeah, but
Oh,
basically we can see like anywhere you go, we can see it. So that dictionary you was talking about, if you go to it now, we'll be able to see what you was talking about. We should be able to.
got Theological Dictionary of the Old Testament open. Let's see, I can't see the screen right now. Let me bring that back up.
Is that it?
Is
Is that it on the left?
no, that's something
Oh,
else. So it's only showing one of my monitors.
oh, okay. So I guess we won't be able to see all that.
Maybe, let me see.
Maybe it's a way you can share that individually. Then, if it won't let you see it all on that PC or what, however that goes, stream.
See what you're seeing now, and no, that's not all. Let me see if, because if I click over here, that's not showing. It didn't.
Still the same. So maybe it only works for just your one string that you. I never did it like that, so I don't know. I didn't know how that worked.
Here, that one, that's another screen. That's my
Oh,
middle. That's my middle screen. That's the one that's on my laptop.
so is this the one with the dictionary?
That's where did it go? Why did that? What is that? Manuscript of the Greek New Testament. I don't need that. That keeps opening up on me. This
Well, at least we know.
theological.
Huh?
That's the theological dictionary of the Old Testament.
That's the one you was talking about? Okay,
Yes.
make the words a little bit bigger, Keith.
See, now that's what's going to mess me up.
Do you know a shortcut for it? I can tell you the shortcut.
Roll. What is?
Let's see, if you hit control and then hit the plus button, it should go up and down. You might have to click inside of it first. Oh yeah, there you go. Now you got it. And then if you want to ever go down in size, just hit the just hold control and hit the minus button. Yeah, that's a little shortcut. Hey, go up one more, Keith. Just one more size. One more size. Make it easy for me to see. I got it on full screen. I can see it, but a little bit bigger would be great.
Let me change monitors then.
Oh, wait, that's the biggest it go?
No, it's just going to be harder for me to see it.
Oh, well, go ahead and read it like that then. I can
I
see it.
think, let me see. It may not be. Let me see. Because I'm trying to read and go ahead and see what's.
Well, I can see it though, like it was.
I mean, I went bigger. It's just that it'll take me a little bit longer to get down to where I wanted to be.
Okay, well, you can go down one. I just be liking it to be big and simplified.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make it smaller until you get there and then make it bigger. Whatever works. At least we got it though. Let me see the name of that dictionary too. Yeah, I don't think I got that one. I haven't recognized that one yet. Is all that still for the same word?
That's why I said I think I.
That's a markup.
That's why I think I went up too far.
The root
Mhm.
mythology.
That's the bar.
It's yeah, it's still close to it because I see the other one.
Oh,
Now there
okay.
go the other one that we was just looking at. The bar. If you need to shrink it a little bit, you can.
Let me just go down just to find my place here.
All right.
I went down too far.
Oh, dang. All right.
Or you know what? I know the quickest way to find it right there.
That's where you started at, right?
Right. That's why I said I knew the quickest way to get back to it was just to click on it.
Oh, gotcha.
See, my other monitor is larger. That's why I said I could put it on there because I like the right side. I know my type print is too small for you.
Oh, yeah, but we ain't focusing on that right now. Yeah, but see, I go live a lot, Keith, and I be thinking about the viewers because some people be looking at it on like small phones and TV streams, and they be updating me, and I have to learn. So I be trying to make sure the words is almost as big as possible, or big enough.
Right. That's why I was saying I know this is too small, and if I put it on the other, because I got more real estate on this one monitor. Now I see why I may need to go ahead and buy me that 30-inch monitor.
Why you need a 30-inch monitor? You can make the words bigger over there too, Keith. All you gotta do is click over there in the box, and then just do the same thing, like enlarge the
I
words.
lose a lot. So if I have a larger monitor, I can still see a lot of the text.
Keith, what? Okay, Keith. All right, big baller. You get you a 30-inch monitor then.
All
But
right,
if you live streaming though, Keith, like they're not gonna be able to see it. Like if you don't make it bigger, like for you, you can see it or whatever you talk about. But for them, like let's say in the future you live streaming and you showing a specific part. I don't know how to be, but if they're looking at what we're looking at, they're not gonna be able to see that good if you leave it that small.
right. How would if somebody wanted to log into us now, how would they find us?
Like view the live stream.
Yes.
Go to. I'll send you a. Want me to send it to you by text on the phone or what?
Would I have to go through Facebook?
We can.
I
Um.
mean, I mean,
oh,
if there was somebody else logging in, how would they find us, or how would they come to us right now?
they can find us through www.twitch.tv/Yahweh. We do have somebody watching right now, but I don't think they said anything in the chat yet.
Oh, let's see. I didn't think we had anybody. Twitch dot what?
I just didn't tell you. I didn't update you. It's twitch.tv/ Yahweh. YA. Let me know if you're ready.
Ready?
Twitch.tv. Okay. Then slash YAHOWYADA.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Oh yeah. Um,
Okay. So if you look on that screen, you'll kind of get an idea of what they see. Now you gotta remember, some people don't have good eyesight, and looking at them small words, some people ain't gonna be able to see it too good.
that's kind of why I wanted to pull it up on my phone and I see what you're saying. Look, see my left side of my screen I can read, but that right side,
That's what I was telling you. That's why I'm like, you can't. That's what I'm saying. Like in the future, you'll get more used to it, but like to make it easier to read. And that's why when I'm live, I ask people, "Can y'all see that good?" To make sure sometimes that they can see it good. And then we're in 720p. This isn't even like 180, 1080p HD. So the higher the resolution, the better, of course. But you just kind of got to work with what you got.
So, and see, I'm seeing something else. My pop-ups don't show up, which is
Okay.
I
Don't
can
worry,
get.
Keith. It's a lot of
Okay,
experimenting you can do in the future. Work it all out. Work it all out. But yeah, at least that looks better though, you know. But you can always shrink it down and you can always do what you need to do.
but okay, going back to this dictionary, it just kind of gives you some feel. Like this one goes into a whole lot more about the different words. In the ancient Near East, how was that word used? In Egypt, how was it used? What are some observations? The cos cosmogonies or statements of the Creator God often play a decisive role in the cosmogonies. What is cosmogonies? Cosmo.
Oh no, I never even heard of that. How do you spell it?
COSMOGNMOGO.
Hold on, wait. Mogo.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Oh,
N
I see it. I think I see it. Is the rest of it spelled Niczne?
No,
Oh, that's not it.
not this word, but it's
Oh,
probably
okay.
it's very similar. It's GONIES. It's this branch of science that deals with the origins of the universe, especially the solar system.
Oh, so you already got the dictionary. I mean the definition.
I did as you were saying it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, keep going. Ready when you're ready.
And it even
You
shows you how
cheated.
it's
You
used
cheated,
in
by
the
the way,
literature.
Keith. You pulled it up at the same time as I did. But go ahead.
It shows you how it's used in different areas, different royal ideology, the literature for the dead, etymology. So when I'm doing studying, a lot of times I'll look through some of this, which I did. I guess I didn't pull this up for our original word, but I did look at some of that. Common Egyptian word is mado, as you see that it's got the M there.
You said what?
Is it mado, mado, mado?
Dole with an L?
M do O mado.
Where they getting that from?
MDO.
Is that
MDW.
is that supposed to be the Hebrew word we was looking at?
This, I think so, because it says the Egyptian word. Oh, that's the Egyptian word for word. Okay, not for.
Oh, I was gonna say that ain't it. Okay, but go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Now, oh, it's giving you the etymology of the word that we were looking at. The word for word is MDW, Mado, which later usually appears in the form MDW.T. Frequently, the expression DD MDW is used to denote spoken words. It always introduces the oracles of the gods in ritual scenes. The oracle of the god, what N stands for, is that denotes the proverbs that are to be recited. Moreover, the expressions MDW, NTR, words of God, or word or words of God is common. And see, again, this is the Egyptian. I don't know why I'm following this word.
Yeah, because this ain't gonna help you with what I was talking about.
Right, it's not going to help me with judgment and justice.
Well, and that the fact that they didn't translate it. So that ain't gonna help you with that. But we at least we got that dictionary Well, hey, if you want, Keith, let's do a few more verses, and then if we got time, I'll try to get in a little bit of what I was talking about in the Shepherd of Hermes, and then we can wrap it up for today, tonight, wherever you want to go. And if you want to continue it another day, we can. We can come back next Thursday if both of us free and can do it again on another Thursday, because it's a big topic. I don't think we're gonna get it all tonight. Now, do you want to continue sharing that stream to do your study, or do you want to share another stream? You let me know. I'll bring it in, whatever you want to do. I kind of like being the guy. I don't know what they call this position. I guess the engineer of the thing. Like, why I set it up? You share the screen. I put it up there. Find this word, this definition, this Hebrew word. Show them what it is. Get it. Stuff like that. I don't know what you call that person.
Production engineer, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Engineer.
All right, where am I? My screens have disappeared on me. I had them all laid out where I knew where everything was.
Maybe one day I'm gonna see this room you talked about with all these streets. You better hope the power don't go out in that room, all them strings, you using all that stuff. That's what happened to me. I was in one room and I blew the sockets out. But I think it was because I was blowing the heat. I had a space heater on too, and it was going for a while. And I had these two computers on and the camera. Next thing you know, the power went out. But I finished my live stream before that happened, so I didn't get shut down. Maybe you got to keep it cool in that room just in case.
It's cooler down here.
You don't want to overheat nothing in there.
So the Lord's holiness was made known by his righteousness and judgments. In Genesis, we've already looked at that. Human judges were to imitate the divine judge in righteousness. And it's not going to give us much to it, but even David, we know he was king in 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 15. That window, I didn't mean to. So David reigned over all Israel, and David administered justice and equity to all his people. Joab, son of Zeruiah, was over the army. Jehoshaphat, son of Ahilud, was recorder. Zadok, son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, son of Abiathar, was priest. Zeruiah was secretary. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was over the Kerethites and the Pelethites. And David's sons were priests. Really? See, we're not studying that tonight, but that.
Yeah, that's a good one though, Keith.
David's sons were priests.
Well, you know, yeah, that is interesting, Keith. Yeah, I never seen that. That's a good one. You might want to put a note on that or something. Or maybe you won't forget, but yeah, that's a good one.
Does that mean what I think? What it says?
This is where you at? 2 Samuel 8?
Yes. 2 Samuel 18, is it 8? 8. Why
It
do I?
could be like how Dan, when I think it was in Judges, and the Danites became priests in the book of Judges, chapter 19. I think it could be like that. Like maybe David allowed his sons to be priests, similar to how the Danites became priests. They weren't supposed to be, but I think it says they became priests too back then for a time.
Oh, see, that's that translation. That's New Revised Standard trans. I was reading New Revised Standard. I was like, the KJV has, and Benaiah the
Oh,
son of Jehoiada was over both the Kerethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief rulers. And it
mm.
has a reference there to say, are princes.
Ooh, excuse me.
Because that would be
Ooh, excuse
that
me.
would be totally against scripture, against the law for them to be priests.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that because you do
Because
you hear?
In other words, David would have deviated from the law if he was making his children priests.
Yeah,
Because
but
under the law, only priests could be only of the tribe of Levi.
yeah, but did you see what happened when the Danites became priests? Do you remember that?
In the book of Judges,
Yeah,
didn't they lose the battle?
I'm not sure.
Uh,
I'm specifically talking about in chapter 19, though.
because at
Maybe,
that time, the men did what was right in their own eyes.
yeah, different
They,
times. Yeah,
they weren't trying to wait. They kept deviating from the law. They'd cry out, go back to the truth, and then deviate away from it.
yeah. So yeah, it was different.
So I'm not sure. I mean, I've just recently listened to Judges, but I can't remember which chapter it was talking about. And they made somebody a priest and asked him to come rule over them.
Yeah,
After,
that
after
sounds
they,
like
they,
it.
they put him out, and then they came back and asked him to come back and rule over him.
Yeah, that's the one. That should be it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that word can mean priest though, in Hebrew, but it might also can mean rulers too, or chief rulers. So I guess it just depends on how somebody would translate that word.
context. I mean, if you understand scripture, you would know, well, I can't translate that priest unless I'm changing scripture or showing
Yeah,
some kind of perversion.
yeah, I mean I get that, but what if it was the truth? If they really were priests, hey, just saying. Somebody could argue that possibly, but if we go by bloodline, they should not have been priests. So I wouldn't translate it priests, because if it can mean rulers, which I don't see on here yet, but if I find a definition that say rulers, then I would go with that over priests by bloodline, because that should not be, like what you said. I agree with what you're saying on this, but from the meanings from the Hebrew word that I'm seeing, it can mean priest. I don't see anything else about rulers yet. So maybe I need to look at another dictionary. Sometimes this one is very brief. Don't give me all the definitions I want. But good to know, good to catch.
Why did my dictionaries change on me?
Yeah, them dictionaries do what they want on logos. I be trying to look for a certain one and they be giving me a few other ones. I be like, man, I don't want this one. It's weird. I'm gonna pull it up in another dictionary too, so I can get some more meanings.
even though that's not the word I came here looking for. But that translation just threw me for a loop, man.
Yeah, but I'm glad you was reading it because we wouldn't have caught that. The word in Hebrew is 3548 kahan, and in the KJV is translated as priest, the most, officer one time, princess one time, chief ruler twice, and own twice. And let's see. Strong's definitions. It says literally one officiating. Sounds like a ruler. So at least we got that verified. That's all I needed. And the rest of it says a priest, also by courtesy, an acting priest, although a layman. And then it just gives some other stuff that we already know. So at least we got that. So we can say they were rulers. They were some sort of rulers, somebody that officiates, that was in control. That would be better to me, but that translation translated it priest.
Interesting that word, whatever is in there in the King James, it's got a footnote. Princess is not pulling up in my lexicons.
When you hover over it, it don't pop up?
It pulls it up in different books, but not my primary ones, none of them.
Well, what does it say
when I go to AYBD? See, I haven't even used that one, so I don't even know what it is.
Okay. Well, while you checking that out, I'm gonna read this other dictionary. This is the GC Nias Hebrew English Lexicon. It says a priest, same word. It says a priest. Excuse me. As to the Arabic and the etymology, see the root. And then it says gives cross references to Genesis 14:18 and a lot of other cross references. And then it gives a Hebrew phrase and more cross references. Then it says the high priest example, possibly Joshua 26, verse 6. And it says who also is called, and it gives a Hebrew phrase, Ha Kohan, Ha Mashi. And then it says that can mean the anointed priest. And then we got Leviticus 4, 3, and 5. Kings who were also called priests. And then it says are mentioned in Genesis 14:18 and Psalms 110, verse 4. And then it says that there is a very old opinion of Hebrew writers that Kohan also signifies prince. Not only have the Chaldee interpreters in several places, and then they give a cross references to Genesis 41:45 and Psalms 110:4, translated by Rabbah, a prince. But even the author of the books of Chronicles seems to have followed this opinion, given according to his manner and interpretation of the words in 2 Samuel 8:18, and it gives a long Hebrew phrase, which we was just looking at, and it says 1 Chronicles 18:17, and it translates this. They show another Hebrew phrase, but I ain't gonna read it. It says, and the sons of David were chief about the king. And the word chief goes back to Kohan. Now, I don't know if it says chief rulers, but it just says chief right here. So then it goes on and on. It says the principal ministers of the kingdom and etc. So it gives a lot in here, way more than the Strong's. The Strong's is very brief.
What dictionary was that again?
This is the GC Nias Hebrew English Lexicon. You can look at it for free on blueletterbible.com.
Oh.
They have it along with the Strong's definitions too. So you can get two different sources. I'll try to put it on the screen so you can see it, get an idea.
And
Go ahead.
I was
Just
looking right here. What's interesting is that same word is in verse 18 here. Let's
in the
see.
same chapter. Oh yeah,
Is
I think you did
is
reference that.
is that same word is in there twice, and right here, I don't know if you see my
Yeah, I
um,
see it. It's a little small, but I see it.
right there. It's translated priest.
Yeah, that's the.
And
It's mostly translated as priest,
right, 35:48. But then you come down to the end of the verse right here. Let's see
and
how
it's
do I
chief
and,
rulers.
and it's chief rulers.
That
So
look, hold on though. Oh wait, no, no,
so
go
it
ahead.
is the same word, but it is translated differently in the same verse.
Yeah,
Now, did the NRSV translate it the same both places? Now, I hadn't paid any attention to that.
I don't know. I didn't go too deep.
Let me go back over here. Verse 18, priest right here. Yes, it translated the same. Now, it stayed consistent. That's where priest.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Now I see why you say keep the Hebrew open, because
Yeah, you need to
wouldn't have
go.
even, and if I hadn't have kept looking, I wouldn't have even known that same word was used twice in the same verse, and then KJV translates it differently.
Yeah. Now,
NRSV translates it the same in both places.
I was thinking about taking you somewhere, but I won't for the sake of time. But this is also how we wasn't using the interlinear back in the day. We was just reading from the English versions of our Bibles at the time. But it was I don't know if I told you this story. I'm gonna try to keep it brief. But it was me and this Jehovah's Witness. We was on the phone and he was reading this. You know they got that one world translation. He was reading that translation, and I was reading the King James version, and we was both reading in the same spot, and that we came down to Judges 18:30. And I don't know if I told you this, Keith, but he he read. I think he was reading his, or I was reading. One of us was reading, but it was a word that was different in the verse 18. I'm sorry, verse 30. It was Judges 18:30, and his said either he said Manasseh or mine said Moses. And I was like, wait a minute, yours say Manasseh, mine say Moses right there. He was like, yeah. So when we verified that on the phone, right? So then we got off the phone and I did some digging, and in the Hebrew, I don't know. Have you seen this in Hebrew, Keith? Judges 18:30.
No, I haven't.
Oh man, that's the only place in the whole Masoretic text or Texas because it's 8 of them, but where the noon, the end, is suspended above the line. Like you know how Hebrew word can be all next to each other. This one was like, I wonder if there's a way I can show you. If I don't know if I can show it on a computer. I might have to like get an actual book. Do you have a Hebrew book? I don't know if you're showing me online, but
Hebrew
basically
what?
I was gonna say like a Hebrew book because I don't know if I go to, let me just see if I go to Judges 18:30, will it show it?
See, in a New American Standard, it says it could be Manasseh or Moses.
Yeah, okay, but when you look at the actual Hebrew, it's not like, you won't see this anywhere else. Like this is different. Let me see if it shows it on here. I don't see it. Let's see, the Danites, his were priests. Mm, but the name of the city was formerly the Danites set up the idol, and Jonathan, son of Gershon. No, it doesn't show it in the book, Keith. Man. All right, I'm gonna go get a Bible real quick, Keith. I'll be back.
It's 1830.
All right, Keith. I wasn't supposed to go through all this, Keith, but you got to see it, Keith. You got to see what I'm talking about. So at least you'll know this is different. Where you at, Judges? All right, I'm in Judges. All right, Keith, check this out. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna make the camera bigger so you can see it. Hold on, let me go to the StreamYard. That one. You got the cutout? That should be fine. I got it highlighted so you kind of see it easier. I might need to take I gotta take this thing off, Keith, now so we can see it. It's interfering when I try to show you. Hold on. Let me take this virtual background off. All right. I'm gonna put my thumb kind of right next to it so you can see it, Keith. Let's get in there. Let me know if you can see that good, Keith. You see that
Yes.
the blue highlighted word right there?
I see it. Yes, I can see it good.
Now you see that N, how it's kind of higher than all the other letters? It ain't supposed to be like that. That's the only time it's like that. Can you see it good?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the word. Now in this one in English it says Manasseh, son of Manasseh. That N was properly how it's supposed to be. Yeah, it would flat out be Manasseh. But without the N is Moses, right? So that's what I was talking about. Like when you look at it,
Maybe that's showing that they're, by putting it up like that, it's showing that there's a textual variant.
textual variant.
That maybe some have it there and some manuscripts don't, or it's questionable.
Well, when you look at the commentary, and the context, Keith. Remember, we was just talking about this with the situation with the Danites. I'm sorry, not Danites, but David and his sons. They shouldn't be priests. I agree with you. They should not be priests. But in the context of Judges 18, the Danites was not supposed to be priests, but they was made priests. Or was that chapter 19? I think that was 19. My bad. I'm skipping the chapter. But in 18, it was talking about Moses had a grandson. Well, depending on who people believe it was, Manasseh or Moses. But if it was Manasseh, Manasseh is not a Levite. And it was saying that this was a priest. And then the context was saying that it was just weird. It was like the bloodline was Levi, seemed like. When was the last time you read Judges 18:30?
Read it. It's been
Yeah.
a while. It's been a little while. I probably
'Cause it was-
listened to it, but I didn't, so I wouldn't have caught it.
So look, it says, where is that? It says the Danites set up the sculptured image for themselves. Oh, this might be the one I was talking about. And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, son of Manasseh, and the descendants served as priests to the Danite tribe until the land went into exile. So if it's Manasseh, Manasseh was Joseph's line. They shouldn't be priests for the Danites. I might have mixed up the Danites being priests or
What
something
did
like
you?
that.
What verse did you just read?
Verse 30 in Judges 18.
Okay, because
Mine might have sounded a little different.
it did. That's why I lost me. I was like, wait a minute, I don't see those words in here.
And then if you look, and then if it's Moses, it will sound like this. The Danites set up the sculpture image for themselves, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, son of Moses, and his descendants served as priests to the Danite tribe until they went into exile, etc. That would sound right because they were Levites. So it's kind of like what we was just talking about with the other one you found, that Judah, what are the Judites doing as priests? So it's kind of like that, but in the Hebrew, there's no word, there's no letter suspended above the line like that. That's that's different. And what the commentary was saying, because you can't find anything on it, you can't find no information except for commentaries, and all the commentaries were saying that the Masoretes they suspended the noon above the line to make it, to make it Manasseh and not Moses, because they didn't want people to believe that Moses had an idolatrous grandson named um what was his name? Jonathan. Yeah, that's what the commentaries say. If you read, but that's all you can find. Well, that's all I found. Let me say that. And I'm like, okay, well,
In the New American Standard, it just says some ancient versions read Moses.
yeah, I can agree. I can agree. Like, but that's weird. If you just study this alone, Keith, that would be the only time, to my knowledge, that you would ever see a noon suspended above the line in anywhere. I never seen it anywhere else. It's only in that spot. But my bad, Keith. I done took about 10 minutes with this. My bad. Just weird stuff.
Yeah.
You want to get in any more verses, Keith? Or you want to stop right here?
Wind it down. Go ahead. You said you had something you wanted to present, or no?
I do, but man, I'm thinking we should get it next time now, because I wanted you to get a little bit more first. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking next time. You want to do it again?
Um,
We could do a round two.
11:30. Yeah, we can plan to do it again.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know you got some more.
Not a lot more on this one.
Oh, I thought you had. Oh, well. Okay, well, next
I mean,
time.
although there's so much that kept coming up, I had to keep myself focused, kind of like what we were doing here. Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Let me look at that and I'll come back because I got notes. Like I said, on vengeance, righteousness.
Well, yeah. What you want to try again next Thursday or something, or what you want to do? Wait, you free Tuesdays and Thursdays, but Christmas coming. I don't know. It might get busy around that time for you. I mean, it's busy, period. But are you gonna be in town? You
I
know, you be
plan on being. I plan on being. I'd love to go to New York, but I plan on being here.
Gotcha. Okay, well.
Now Tuesday night. Oh well, that's at 6:30 to 7:30. We got online Bible study.
I don't know what day
Wednesday.
Christmas is. Is it Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday. I haven't turned my calendar since August, so
Maybe. What would you think if we do next Thursday? Because that day after Christmas might be busy for you too. I don't know.
day Hanukkah, first day of Kwanzaa. That would work. That should work. Thursday.
Okay, well, God willing, we can do next Thursday. I kind of like this green screen stuff, even though I don't got one. I just like that little Hebrew image back there. That's it. That's what I think I'll have something like that back there. Every now and then, maybe. Can you see it, Kenny?
Your Hebrew, yes.
Got you.
Let me see. What do I need to do?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one, Keith. So we don't gotta be live. You know what I mean? So this was judgment. What was it? Justice and judgment study. Seeking him led the way. He led the way.
I hadn't seen the time up there.
Oh, you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I be watching. I be like, man, Keith, we been in here an hour. But it don't. The live time is different than the when we was before live. I was like, Keith, we been here an hour. I remember looking at the time. I'm like, Keith, we ain't even got started yet. All right, I'm in. We out of here. Peace be to the saints. You want to
All
say
right.
anything for the outro, Keith?
I'll just bid you Godspeed.
Okay. All right.